these clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos.
I just wanna go home. I just wanna be home.
Mace, say names.
Yeah, security crime behind the car.
Damn.
People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. You're like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
But he there for security.
What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't wanna know.
Just can't tell me nothing. That's why when be talking tough, I said, man, just say it. I done seen all that. Nigga said he wanna just go home.
Oh,
and this blanket. You're like, what?
But he there for security.
You're never gonna be in this position.
I just want to go home and
I just want to be under my blanket.
Crazy.
Oh, we gotta get out of here. God, you get me out of here. I'm never fooling with these niggas.
Hip-hop enthusiasts are unsure of how to react to the recent alarming developments. A troubling letter was recently released by Gene Deal, the former bodyguard who collaborated closely with Diddy during the most turbulent times at Bad Boy Records. Additionally, Mace and Cameron are the direct targets this time. Yes, the same legends from Harlem who created the popular talk program, It's What It Is. Gene's message was also not your typical internet post. It sounded like a genuine warning, reminiscent of a mafia film. Supporters claim that this is the first time they have ever heard him speak. It all began when a video of Mace and Cam making jokes about the old-school rap scene, which included dropping Diddy, Gene, and the entire Bad Boy era, went viral. They were making jokes about street rumors, old deals, and how some people were still afraid to discuss Diddy. Although the crowd laughed, it was clear that those jokes resonated deeply with individuals who experienced that time period, particularly Gene Deal. You see, Gene isn't your average internet user. He witnessed the most significant controversies in hip-hop history. He discussed Diddy's personal life, the killings of Tupac and Biggie, and what he referred to as the dark side of fame. So he took offense when he witnessed Mace and Cam laughing about it.
On a picture of your facial reaction to I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
If my security holding me down in Cali, it's somebody, the #1 rapper in the world get killed, you're telling you, I just need to want to go home. And the second top artist in the world, which is Mace, about to be #1. That's what I'm saying, I wonder his face, because I'm like, if y'all let me do that to Big, I don't stand a chance.
Gene joined a live stream a couple of nights later. "You guys think this is a game, but the streets haven't forgotten anything," he remarked. "You guys think this is a game, but the streets haven't forgotten anything," he remarked. People are killed by this industry, particularly those who believe they're untouchable. That in itself ignited the internet. People weren't sure if he was threatening them or just warning them for their protection. His message was profound, yet obscure. Everyone was playing the video again after he said, "Be careful." By that, what does he mean? Headlines such as Gene Deal sending Mace a frightening message and Cam and Gene warning him to quit talking before it's too late began to appear on blogs. There was an uncanny vibe to the entire scenario, as if the ghosts of the old bad boys were still haunting anyone who attempted to speak about that time period. He knows something we don't, and this feels like a warning rather than advice, as fans were expressing in droves in the comment sections. Even more bizarrely, later that evening, Gene stepped up considerably. He said, "Them Harlem boys need to chill before they end up in the same stories they're laughing about." Everyone in the audience got chills from that line. It wasn't noisy. There was no danger. It was quiet. Too quiet. And it was the reason it was even more terrifying.
If you gonna say something, be man and motherfucking never. The name.
Gotcha.
When I tell a motherfucking story, Rex, I tell it with the name.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral out here.
Yeah.
Now the content creators who went out there and they start running off by their mouth, trying to make airways and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mason Cameron, made suggestions to Bad Boy Security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being Bad Boy Security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 out there. Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third. You already know, Mace. When you doing all that stuff to Gene Deal, what do Gene Deal supposed to be doing while you doing all that? I bet you really don't want to know. What you think I'm going to be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? They can play if they want to, but if they know what I know, they better find somebody else to play with. I never had to tell Big Noom Keep it a buck. I never had to tell Big Noom I told Big to his face, if you go to this party tonight, one of y'all gonna die. Some people gonna die if you go to this party tonight.
One of you is gonna die. Some of y'all are gonna die if you go to this party tonight. Once that clip hit social media, everything blew up instantly. Fans were tagging Mace and Cameron like crazy, begging them to respond. Everyone wanted to know, were they scared? Were they gonna clap back? But at first, Mace and Cam just laughed it off. On the next episode of It Is What It Is, they joked about Gondiel's mystery speech. Cam said, "Man, Gene acting like we're in a mob movie." And Mace added, "If we have to watch our backs for talking, we're already famous then." The studio audience laughed, but fans online weren't laughing. They felt something deeper brewing. Gene Deal saw that response, and he didn't find it funny. In another live stream, he snapped, "You Harlem boys are always playing. You think because you're on camera, nothing can happen to you? Cameras don't save people. Ask the ones who are not here anymore." That moment made everyone go quiet. Gene started talking about how people in the 90s used to disappear for saying the wrong thing, and hinted that industry secrets still get people touched even today. He didn't name names, but everyone knew who he was referring to. Now, let's be real. Gene Deal's reputation carries weight. This is the man who claims to have witnessed events tied to Biggie's death and says he's still being followed for what he knows. He said in interviews that the truth got bodies attached to it. So when someone like him starts sending warnings, people pay attention. Fans started digging through old interviews, piecing together his quotes and linking them to Mace's old fallout with Diddy. Remember, Mace has a long history with Bad Boy. Contracts gone wrong, missing royalties, years of silence, followed by a spiritual comeback. He's been throwing shots at Diddy for years, calling him out for exploiting artists. But now, with Gene in the mix, it feels like those old wounds just reopened. Except this time, there's danger attached.
I'm gonna say something, Mace. Tell us why you didn't go. Mace, why you didn't go to the party? Mace, why you didn't go to the party?
Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to
So Mace, who told you? Mace, didn't I tell you? Listen to him, Mace. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around.
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had time?
Mace, let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mace, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the f is you doing in a drop top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Did I say that to you, Mace? That's some
When admirers continued to tag Cameron in Jinon's videos,
even the normally humorous Cameron felt a little uncomfortable. He stated in a subsequent episode, "We're not terrified, but we're also not stupid. We from Harlem are aware of the time." Fans realized then that this was more than just YouTube rumors. A genuine conflict is emerging between the new generation of artists who discuss hip-hop for laughs and the elder guard who saw its darkest periods. Jinan Deal refused to accept it. "These new media guys have no idea what kind of doors they're opening," he remarked. "They're giggling, yet their jokes contain profanity." That exact statement went viral once more. People were suddenly frightened rather than merely amused. Jinan didn't seem to be warning Cam and Maze out of hatred. He was cautioning them based on his experience.
In a hotel with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions, after what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask the question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 bloods in your hallway after Biggie Smalls died?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Dill, the officer had to come get me.
Everyone in the hip-hop media was discussing it by this point. Rappers, podcasts, and reaction channels all began to discuss Gene's warning. He was being dramatic, according to some. He was correct, according to others. Gene Deal might sound paranoid, but history proves he ain't lying, an influencer wrote on Twitter. Because fans are aware of hip-hop's troubled past with excessive speech, that tweet went viral. Gene's warning wasn't made up. There were unsolved deaths and covert industry operations. However, his delivery gave it a personal tisn't. He stated, "Mace, you know I'm not lying," while staring directly into the camera in another video. "You were present. You witnessed what transpired when some individuals betrayed that man." Everyone thought that dude was referring to Diddy. When he stated that, Gene's voice broke, as if he were reliving a moment. Everything took a different tone after that. Beef was no longer the focus. It has to do with surviving. Comments like, "He's not threatening them," were posted by fans. "History repeats itself," he tells them. Additionally, Mace was much more affected because he had previously shown a strong desire to reveal Diddy's wrongdoings. Do you recall his angry interview last year in which he declared his desire to rescue the spirits of artists trapped in unfavorable contracts? Yeah, Gene was referring to precisely that kind of conversation. He stated, "The people who talk about freeing souls usually end up losing theirs." Just that cue chilled everyone. Although Cam made an effort to keep things light, the tension was evident. "I love Gene, but I don't like it when old heads make things sound spooky. We are mic-wielding comedians, not bandits with firearms." Fans did notice a change in their enthusiasm, though. More side eyes, more pauses, and fewer jokes. Even Mace appeared somewhat more somber, as if he was reconsidering the extent of his corny jokes. Online debates began over whether Gan Deal was attempting to quiet them or issue a warning. Some claim that he is sincerely trying to keep them safe, like an older brother warning, "Watch your back." Some believe that he is being employed as a spokesperson, quietly expressing Diddy's desire to tone things down. In any case, the fact that Gene isn't just a blogger speaking makes the whole thing unsettling. He has first-hand knowledge of real violence that occurs behind the scenes. This is not your typical drama involving celebrities. This discussion about silence, power, and legacy is authentic. Gene's warning served as a reminder to everyone that, despite the jokes and rumors, there is an actual risk in this game, particularly when the individuals in question are the same ones who used secrets to build their empires.
He was trying to divert that whole conversation and make it seem like, "So, Gene, why you didn't shoot?" Listen to me. It wasn't because Big wasn't my principal. And he knew the fact that we had blew the light and we was halfway down the block, crossed the light, and then when the first shot went off, our driver took straight off. I'm screaming at our driver because he was told that somebody was pointing a gun at Big and them. He should have just threw the car in reverse. He knew the whole story, my man, because me and him had a conversation on the phone. He the one told me, well, I was in the room with Brandy and Brandy was trying to get me out the room to come to the party. So I felt that was kind of weird. So she said Brandy was calling me trying to get me out the room to come to the party. Well, you was in the room with Brandy. How's she calling you to try to get you out the room to come to the party? You know what I'm saying? This was going through my mind. But Mace knew the whole situation. Mace knew that it's no way possible that I was able, being sideways in the car, because Puff, when I got in the car, Puff had put his seat back. Now I'm sideways in the car like this, and I'm cussing him out like, yo, man, what the f is you doing? Why you got your seat back like this? We hear the shot, bow. Puff put his head down. I go to open the door. Kitty flies, going straight. So he knew the whole story. What I supposed to do? Put my gun out the window and just start shooting like this? When the car had already turned the corner, it came out of parking space. So he knew the story, bruh. He was trying to just divert the attention of why security. So ask security, ask big security, ask Paul, ask the LAPD. The LAPD officer that was right there, they was right behind. Paul was outside the car. Why didn't they shoot? Why when we turn back around and come down the street, that they way down the block, they coming back when we get back to the car. When we get back to the car, nobody's in Big's car. But Big, Mace knew this. Me and Mace had this conversation. Him and Tone is like this. He knew me and Tone jumped in the car and chased after the guy. We couldn't catch him. He wanted to divert the attention from himself because why didn't you tell Big that these dudes was trying to get at you, bruh? You had that conversation with Puff, but you ain't had that conversation with Big. Big was your label mate. So people come on to him, why you ain't shoot? Listen to me, bro. At that time, I was young, dumb, and full of cum. Anybody who really knows me know that they ain't gotta worry about nothing if it comes to the point where gunplay has to be a part of my security. I'm not gonna hesitate, because I never bodyguard anybody that I wasn't willing to lay down my life for.
Gene hasn't given in either, though. They can laugh if they want, but I sleep well knowing I warned them, he stated in his podcast. They still pulled the same people they make fun of. Furthermore, I don't want any young brothers to die for influence. That line had a strong impact. It suggested that Gene could have wanted to protect rather than threaten. Too many people have been put down by him for saying the wrong thing to the wrong people. Perhaps he even spots Mace and Cam on the same perilous route. Online fans remain divided. Gene is being referred to as a truth teller by others, who claim that he is simply telling the truth in a fictional environment. Others believe he is inciting panic and using viral tales to try to remain relevant. But the tension is unavoidable regardless of your stance. Overnight, the atmosphere surrounding Mason Camp's show shifted, and now everyone is anticipating it. Will they keep their heads down, or will they clap back? Ultimately, this whole issue seems to be more than simply words. It has to do with power. Gene had a clear message. Hip-hop still has rules that are invisible to outsiders. You can talk and joke around, but once you go too far, you start to awaken old ghosts. Additionally, Mason Cam may have just poked one of the game's oldest ones. This circumstance demonstrates that the specters of that bad boy era persist no matter how much time goes by. Additionally, the alarms grow louder as more individuals attempt to expose it. Only time will tell if Gene was delivering a prophecy or a threat. But one thing is certain. You pay attention when a man like Gene Deal advises you to move carefully, because one incorrect word can have a lasting impact in our field.